about ready to go grocery shopping for our May grocery haul, and I'm going to take you along with me today so you can see where I'm going and how things kind of change through the seasons here. So this is May and our farmers markets are just starting to open up, so we are going to go check out two of my favorite local ones, and then we'll probably end up hitting either Costco or Fred Meyer's on the way home. But through all of this, for groceries, my budget is going to stay at $135 per person, and we are a family of two. So total, my grocery budget is $270. Now that being said, I'm going to the farmer's market because I want flowers for our brand new deck. So flowers do not count in that grocery budget. That is a totally separate fun budget that I have been saving for. So the food that we buy is all that I count in the grocery budget, and that will be $135 per person. I get asked a lot about other household goods that you might try to sneak into your cart while you're grocery shopping. So I try to keep that budget totally to food and to make sure that we always have the food security in our house that we need. And when I do have extra money in the budget and I can buy a fun decorative pillow or something at the store that makes me happy, seasonal things that I need for the house, I have a separate budget for that, and that really just gets based on whatever our financial goals are at the moment. So right now we have went 4 months without wanting to eat out except for a couple very, very special occasions, but we haven't got coffee, we haven't got takeout, we haven't went through drive-thrus because we want to stage our house to sell, and we're planning on buying a new house this summer. So all of our extra funds have been being used, but just in different ways. And when I'm grocery shopping, you will see that we are mostly an ingredient household. So I tried to buy whole ingredient items as much as possible. We're about 80% organic as much as possible, but we're also an allergy family. So Mike was asking for Catalina dressing, and I know that all the Catalina dressing has oils in it that I can't have. And so I made sure to look up a recipe that I could make Catalina dressing and it wouldn't have those things in it. And I happen to have all the ingredients here at the house to be able to do that. So instead of him adding something to my list that wasn't allergy friendly for me, I'm going to be able to make that dressing and share it with you guys. And those kind of swaps that we do really help based on the fact that we have ingredients in our house. So having a stocked pantry and those basic ingredients that you would always keep on hand helps you make so many different versatile items, and you can switch things up. And then I know we're going into summer, so I want to make sure that I'm getting extra things, I use sun-dried tomatoes or pepperoncinis or a balsamic glaze. Those kind of things I seem to pull out a lot in the summertime, spring and summer. So I want to make sure that I'm stocked up on those, or I'm picking them up so all summer long I can make pasta salads and different things. Really easy. I love that our grocery shopping gets based on the season. We seem to have a fall, winter kind of menu that we have, and then things switch up for the spring and the summer. And that just keeps us really excited about what is to eat. And we always base it on the fresh produce that we find. So we will see what I find at the farmer's market. Sometimes there are things that I don't necessarily need right now, but I like to take video of too. So we'll see what kind of footage that I get while I'm there. And hopefully it is not too busy. I did make sure that I have my planner with me. It has all of my meal ideas that I'm working on and some of the things that I want to eat up in my fridge and freezer. And then I also have my grocery shopping list based on the stores that I want to stop at. So if I end up getting most of these things at the farmer's market, then I won't have to go to the actual grocery store today. I do know I have to go to Costco no matter what for a few minutes to grab a couple things. And then I always, before I go, I lay out my bags. So these are the mesh bags, and then I have the muslin bags, and I lay them in a pile from small, extra large, all the way down. I lay them in a pile in order, so they're really easy. So they go biggest to smallest, and then they're in a pile, and they're really easy to grab out of my larger bag. I love being able to use an organic produce bag to be able to then put my organic produce in it, and that way I'm not adding any extra plastic whenever I can get away with not having plastic. And why spend all the money on organic if you're going to put it in plastic? So I grabbed the extra large ones today to bring with me. These seem like they're humongous, but they are perfect for corn on the cob. Corn on the cob is starting to get in season in California, so we might be able to see some at the farmer's market, so I made sure to grab those. If you haven't seen our market bags yet, these are the bags. They are organic and canvas. They have 6 spots for sleeves inside, which are perfect for bottles, but also for like putting your celery or your lettuce in so they don't get crunched. And I love that the strap is strong enough that you can put it on your shoulder and carry everything in. But this will also hold like a watermelon. I even put a frozen turkey in it once for a video. But I love all of these bags are completely washable and you can just keep reusing these. I've been using them for 3 years now and they've held up so great. So anyways, all of these things are on our storefront, so make sure that you're checking those out, and there is a special discount code linked in the description. All right, I am back from grocery shopping. You might know that I'm at a different angle. It's a different camera. I'm filming all by myself, so I'm a little bit more up close so I can touch the button and it's not the whole counter view, but I will make sure that we do lots of B-roll so you can see exactly what I'm talking about, but please bear with me because it's just a busy day here. So anyways, we are in the middle of construction and also we are working on listing our house to sell. So I've had to work around windows of hammering and all of the things to make sure that I can still put the content out, but it is normally really loud and crazy here. We have a brand new deck going in. We have new floors going in on the stairs and new doors going in. There's just a lot happening here. So please bear with me as we are filming this new video. So I ended up driving about 40 minutes because I ended up hitting traffic each way to go to 2 farm stands. They're right near each other. Well, like 6 miles away from each other, but they are a fun trip to do at the same time. So I hit those, and then on the way back home, I hit Costco, and I ended up not needing to go to like a grocery store at all. So just the farm stands and Costco, and I'm kind of thinking about those meals as we're switching up the seasons. And if you've been following all in 2025, we've been posting all of our meals every 2 weeks, and those go on their own playlist. So I think we're up to like meals 9 right now. So if you're curious to see how we're using these groceries and actually preparing meals for our family, that is a great playlist to check out, and that is linked in the description. So let's get into first the Costco haul. So at Costco, normally the first thing I do honestly is check out the flowers at the beginning. I didn't buy any flowers today, but I was sure tempted at looking at them. They're so pretty, all of the baskets. But I go straight back to the produce department, and since I already did a huge produce haul, I just got the couple things that I still needed, which was some spinach. So I got a big container of spinach. They didn't have them in the bags today, so a big container of spinach that we're going to use for lots of salads. And I got some strawberries at the farmer's market, and with those I'm going to make some poppy seed dressing and strawberry salads, spinach salads, so that will be great. And then we use spinach all of the time to add to smoothies and also our meals. We add spinach either frozen to our smoothies and meals or fresh making salads, so I made sure that we have plenty of this, and we did get some greens too. And then Mike, every single day he drinks lemon tea in the morning right when he first wakes up. So I made sure to get him a big bag of lemons. I do this every time. And then also the 6-pound bag of organic carrots. We go through an entire bag every month. And speaking of it being a month, our grocery budget is based financially per month, but mentally I normally say I go grocery shopping once every 3 weeks, and oftentimes I push that to once every 4 weeks. But there's something mentally about saying that we only go grocery shopping once a month that used to be really hard on me. And when I am saying it's every 3 weeks and I'm pushing it to 4 weeks, most of the time it's 4 weeks. Today is actually 4 weeks plus 2 days since I went to the grocery store last, but there's something about it for me. So even though we have the money in the grocery account all of the time and I can go whenever I want to, normally the budget is $135 per person, and normally I'm pushing it from 3 weeks to 4 weeks to actually stepping in the grocery store and bringing more food home. It seems like I got a ton of dairy items today because we were stocking up on some seasonal cheeses to make different meals, and also I needed to get milk at this time. Mike and I don't really drink a lot of milk, so I've been getting the A2 organic milk that actually lasts us 2 grocery cycles because it's 4 half gallons. So we seem to only drink a gallon a month, and this unopened is actually good until July 15th. It's July 11th, still practically forever. And then I always get a large container of cottage cheese and of Greek yogurt. Mike eats the cottage cheese more as like a snack or breakfast with different fruits and different things. And I don't like the texture of cottage cheese. So anytime I'm using it, it's blended up and I'm adding it to something. But we go through an entire container of that, and they're big and bulky. So I always put these in quart-sized jars, and they fit a lot better in the refrigerator. And that way they actually last a lot longer too. So if you want to learn some of those kind of tricks, we have a video for keeping your cheese fresh longer and your other dairy items. But we always get Greek yogurt also, and the Greek yogurt I use in place of sour cream. We sweeten it up and use it as you would regular yogurt, and then we're adding it to other things. So both of these are adding some protein into our diet. And this feta cheese actually wasn't even on my list, but it was $3 off, and so I knew that I would be buying it a little bit later in the summer, so I just grabbed it today since it was on sale. But I make a watermelon feta salad that I just love, but I don't really like watermelon yet in May. I know it is starting to get imported into the United States like right now, but I kind of wait until later in June, early July to start buying watermelon for ourselves. When we do start having watermelons, then I love this watermelon feta salad. I also got some mozzarella. I like keeping these in the freezer because we make our own pizzas, and that way they're really easy. Sometimes I don't even shred it, I just chop it up. It's easier for me, but I like being able to have mozzarella on hand all of the time, and I will double check and make sure I don't have any other ones in the freezer, but that way I know all summer long if we want to have pizza or something, it's really easy. And I always make sure during the summertime especially that I have gyros. So we make personal size pizzas with these gyros, and they stay great in the freezer, so we can just pull out a couple at a time. I use these gyros multiple ways, but pizza is one thing that was on my mind today. Since we're still kind of talking about bread items, I get the carb balanced tortillas. I'm diabetic, and so anytime I can kind of watch my carbs a little bit, that is great. I love to make chicken enchiladas or breakfast burritos or just wraps with these. There's so many different ways that you can use tortillas, and again, I keep those in the freezer and just pull out what we need for like the week at a time. So I don't have to worry about like moldy bread during the summertime too, because it just seems to go bad a little bit quicker. I had one more cheese item here. I ended up getting the Kerrygold block cheese, so I was kind of excited to try that. We've been trying another brand, and this is the one I decided to use. So this is just a natural cheese that we're going to use for all kinds of things. And I ended up getting some salami. I like also having this during the summertime. It's perfect for pasta salad, and it's just another handy snack to have around with just a little bit of cheese and meat. So I purposely get this during the summertime to make sure that I can add it to different things. And for me, I didn't get very much today because we are getting ready to move and I'm trying to empty out our freezers. I did pick up these sausages. They are pineapple bacon, and they were a couple dollars less than the other chicken sausages. These are organic. There's 3 different packages of 5 links in here, so I can use this for a couple different meals, and that is really great. So they end up being really affordable. We had other chicken sausages in the freezer and we really enjoyed them, so I'm going to use some of the same recipes and use these pineapple bacon sausage. I did pick up a rotisserie chicken. It's $5. I could have went through drive-through. It is $6.54 right now. We haven't ate dinner. I got a rotisserie chicken. So rotisserie chicken, please don't come after me. I'm feeding my family. I'm feeding my family what's best for us for tonight, and it costs $5. These ramen noodles are organic, and they are one of my favorite things to get, especially in the summertime, because we use these to make yakisoba. So it's really fun to do on our Blackstone. Last year for Mike's birthday, we actually had like 30 30 people over, and he did a whole hibachi yakisoba like little dinner show, and it was hilarious. But we like to use these in the summertime. It really helps stretch out meals, and there's only a couple of ingredients in it, which I really, really like. So we can use up any of the vegetables that we're using. I make a homemade yakisoba sauce with just basic ingredients that we normally have. I think we have that linked on the blog, and if we do, we'll put it in the description. And Costco isn't fun if you don't get to get something extra and different and try something out. And if it's a snack, it's even better. So I got Mike some sweet honey roasted peanuts. So this is kind of his extra treat of a snack, bribe to bring in the groceries, you know, all of the things in our house. Our kitchen is upstairs. So to bring in the groceries, it's like across the yard and up the stairs to the front door, and then up the stairs to the kitchen. And then if anything needs to go down to the freezers, it's down and down again. So it's a lot of work to bring in the groceries, and you know, I sometimes need a little bribe. So this is a great fun thing for him, and he was really excited about it. As I was putting everything over there to stage for a picture, I realized I forgot to talk about the maple syrup. So normally in the fall time, I will get the glass bottles of maple syrup, but they go out of season and we were out. So I got the plastic bottle. It's not my favorite. I will probably end up pouring this into the glass bottle as soon as we use the last of that up. But that is definitely something in the fall when the new season of maple syrup comes in. I normally get enough maple syrup to last the entire year, but we do a lot of our own baking and also like salad dressings and different things, and I'm using maple syrup. Sometimes I'm using monk fruit. It depends on what I'm using, but I don't really use sugar that often. And I'm going to get people that comment on that. I just want to say, if it's for me and I'm diabetic, I just use less and less. And if my kids are home, I have one that's allergic to raw sugar cane. So that is why our family uses that, but it's nice to have good maple syrup around in your house just so you can use it for all different kinds of things. Now I have 5 bags of produce that are down at my feet here that I'm going to put up here on the counter, but that is the Costco haul behind me. But before we go into all of the produce and how I'm going to use it and complete meals to make them, I just wanted to clarify that we are not vegetarians. We have meat in our freezer. So once every 2 years, I purchase beef and it's in our freezer. And right now, any of the extra pork and chicken, shrimp, anything else that is in the freezer, I'm trying to use that because we are getting ready to move, and I want to move as little as possible because we're moving about 4 hours away from where we live now. We don't know where we know what town we're moving to, but we don't know what house we're moving to yet. So if you've been waiting for that announcement, we just don't know. But anyways, once every 2 years, I make a meat purchase. And when I go to start making that meat purchase, I start putting about $50 a month aside into our savings account out of that grocery budget that we are working through. Right now, I have $63 that's in that extra savings account that's just sitting there for when I want to make the large purchase of something. So I don't use that for anything else. But we have this kind of a buffer of a window right now. So we have the latest purchase of meat has arrived, but we haven't started using it yet because I want to film it for a video. So I have purposely haven't used anything out of that new arrival of meat and have been trying to use those random couple pieces left that we had that was from January 2023 is when we purchased it. So there's still a couple little things that I've been trying to use up, and which is kind of funny. Steaks are kind of one of our last things that we normally use, and those are still in the freezer. We do have that new meat, trying not to use it yet. When I start using it, I will make a video on it. But there's this little bit of buffer right now that we have between when the cows are harvested and then the farmer takes a break for a couple months before they get a new round of calves. So they haven't got the new round of calves yet, and then it's a 2-year process. So we've had a little bit extra in our grocery budget because I haven't had to put as much of that aside right at the second because we haven't purchased the new calf yet. So if you're vegan, I'm sorry, we're not. And if you would like me to do a full video really talking about how we do those large meat purchases every 2 years and have all the meat that we need. I will be filming that soon before we leave this house. That is one thing that I have planned on doing. We are not using any of that meat until I film the video. It really does go to show that we've been doing the same budget and the same method of grocery shopping for years now, and it really helps us build up ingredients in our house so we're able to make multiple meals and have variety to what we're making and to switch it up for different diets. And I hope that you learned something from the way that our family eats. These bags are so heavy, I can barely lift them. So this is the market bag if it's over my shoulder. If I carry more than 2 in at a time, it's too heavy for me because I'm just, you know. But anyways, this is some of the produce. I'm gonna lift it all up here on the counter. But again, the camera is so close you can't see everything happening here today. That one's lighter. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, kind of 4.5 bags of produce here. I think I'm just going to pull things out of the bag and kind of talk you through them as we go. So we got some cilantro and parsley. I've been making some chimichurri sauce and oh my goodness, it is so delicious on those steaks that we've been using up, but I got some more. This will stay fresh for 6 weeks in the refrigerator when you are washing it, when you're bringing it home. And then you want to trim the ends and put it in filtered water in the refrigerator, and you will have fresh parsley and cilantro for like almost 2 months, 6 weeks at least. And then I got some tomatoes, which is kind of funny. You don't see me buying tomatoes all winter long. I got little tomatoes and I got a big tomato. I'll talk about both of those when I get the other one out. I got more Brussels sprouts. I've been making this Brussels sprout salad that you can eat hot or cold, and it has a little bit of that maple syrup drizzled on it. It's delicious. There is some golden beets and some regular beets in here. I love these roasted, but I like making hummus with them too. This bag had grapes. Oh my gosh, I took a picture of the grapes. They're huge for one. And there was a cute little sign saying, "Try me." You could actually eat the grapes at the farm stand. So look how huge these are. So I got a bunch of grapes, they were in here. And then I got a couple small sweet potatoes. So they're about this size. I thought they would be good to add to dishes. There's just like 4 of them in here, so kind of small. And these are the muslin bags. I did get some cocktail cucumbers. I'm gonna wash these, put them in the glass container, and they will last a lot longer. But these are fun to add to salads. And then here is the tomato. Like, this is what I'm talking about. This is a tomato. So I don't buy tomatoes all winter long. I wait for like the summertime garden tomatoes. This tomato I will wash and I will keep it on a plate on the counter. And these cherry tomatoes I will wash. These will go into a jar and they will go into the refrigerator. So they will stay fresh for about a month. Mike actually doesn't like tomatoes very much, so I have to kind of sneak them into things, but I had to get this tomato. I was so happy to see a pretty one, like first of the season. And then I got a whole bag of zucchinis here, so we will be adding those to lots of recipes. I like having zucchinis that we can add to either breakfast or dinners and to sneak in some of those vegetables, because it's like one thing that Mike won't really eat as a side, but I can sneak it into everything and know that he's actually getting all of his veggies in. Oh, I also got some yellow squash. There's a bag of yellow squash here. And then I got a couple of avocados. Now these are pretty darn hard. So they are going to get washed, but they are not going to go into the refrigerator for a couple days. And I'll wait until they're a little bit more ripe before I put them in the refrigerator. Oh, this made me excited. These are watermelon radishes. I'll show you what they look like when they're cut open. But again, it's like the changing of the seasons and I love the new things. So this, yeah, watermelon radishes. We have this pretty picture of cut produce items that are all in jars ready to go, and there's watermelon radishes in one of those pictures, and we always get asked about what it is. Okay, another bag empty. I love that I can just throw them on the floor because when I get done with this, they just go into the wash machine. Out of all those bags I took, I only have 2 little extra ones. They're all in this bag here. So these are the only 2 extra ones out of everything that I took to the produce stand. I did get some romaine. I hear Mike's truck back. I took too long. I got some spaghetti squash, a cabbage, surprise of oranges for Mike. I got a couple different ones. I'll put the sign up because I don't remember which ones are which. But they had the leaves in them. I love that you like know that they're fresh and they had the leaves in there. And then we got a huge, remember that extra large bag that I was going to take to the produce stand? We filled this whole thing up with peppers. So I think I got 12 and they're all different colors. So we have all of the colors of peppers. They filled up that entire extra large bag. And then I got some corn on the cob. So I was pretty excited about this. Make sure when you're checking out corn on the cob that you don't get tempted to open it up. So when you're at the farm stand, I try to reach up here and feel the kernels as much as you can. Like this is early season, so they are small ones. But as soon as you start peeling those back, then they're not going to last as long. And I normally just trim off the ends of the silk here and put it in the crisper drawer and they'll stay fresh for about 2 weeks. I got a bag of onions here. So yellow onions in this bag, some more cucumber, celery. Oh, I got some jalapenos. So again, summertime, it seems like we make nachos and different things. I like to have jalapenos around. And then I got a cauliflower. We've been getting a lot of questions about cauliflower. So this is one that you just take it out of the plastic and put it in your crisper drawer. So you don't have to wash it right away. And when I do go to wash it, I use a salt water method to wash it. Make sure that you don't use pink Himalayan salt when you're washing it because it can look like pink mold on your cauliflower. So this is one just super easy. Just get it out of the bag and put it in your crisper drawer. And I got some bananas. I ate one on the way home. I got a whole other bag of oranges. Mike has really been enjoying oranges lately, so I got him another kind to try out. And I was excited to get some eggplants. So these are coming into season and I haven't really seen them around much lately, so I was excited to get these. And this bag just has a bag of some shallot. It's the season to make fresh things and I like being able to use shallots. And then this bag here is red onions. Oh, I have some pickled red onions in the refrigerator that we love to add to salads and to different like hamburgers and different things. I made a video for that should be out really soon. I think it comes out right after this video. So if you're interested in learning how to make your own pickled onions, then make sure that you hit subscribe to this channel and you can learn how to make something fun like that. And then last is why I went to this particular farm stand to begin with, is they had organic strawberries on sale, 2 for $5. So this is why they were my first stop there. And then I ended up getting all of these other things and some of the items I did pick up at the second farm stand. So I hope you enjoyed seeing the different ingredients that we bring into our house and what grocery shopping looks like for us. And make sure that you're following those meals videos and also all of our produce tips videos so you can see how I can keep these items fresh for weeks. But I'm glad that you enjoyed this. Sorry it is a different angle and different things today. There might be a lot more videos like this in the future. I almost forgot the most important part. How much should I actually spend? I'm trying to hurry up because we haven't had dinner yet and Mike was home with all the supplies and I knew he would want to eat, but you want to know how much we spent. So at Costco, which was my last stop of the day, so I knew exactly how much I could spend there, I spent $144.93. And at the first produce stand that I went to, the Red Barn, I spent $65.44. And at the second produce stand I went to, Sereno's, I have the hardest time saying that, I spent $22.47. And I have to say, he gave me free flowers too as I was checking out. So, I mean, I think they were giving them to everybody, but I got a free little basket of pansies, which was kind of fun. I'll show a little picture of that, but I love our local farm stands. Even if it's traffic and I have to go further, it is a lot of fun to be able to see what's in season and to support local businesses. But that total that I spent, which is going to be our groceries, is $232.84. And then I had that carryover amount that I said, which was $63.60. So that is what I spent on groceries. And I am just going to remind you, we have not had takeout in 2025. If you're interested in getting a grocery planner, this is the produce box one, which I think is so cute, but there's 5 different covers. There's peaches and lemons and avocados. This this one and a strawberry one. And also we have the Zero Waste Produce Guide. These two items are on a bundle, and there's also a discount code in the description. So this book goes through 75 produce items and how I keep them fresh for weeks, and it's really easy to read in an A to Z order. So you can flip right through it and look exactly on what produce item that you want to store and to keep fresh longer. And then there's also this master list at the very back. But learning how to store things near their produce buddies in the refrigerator is so important. And this book goes through all of those kinds of things to help you keep your produce fresh longer. So make sure you're checking out those links in the descriptions. If you have any questions, I spend hours every single day trying to answer all of the comments that come through and help you find different links. Or if you're looking for a recipe idea for something that I was talking about, we might already have it as a blog post or a video, but also I can be adding it to an updated content list too. So make sure that you're asking questions, engaging, and saving some money on groceries.